All right, so I bet you've wondered this at some point. Can dogs eat almonds?
Oh, yeah. Definitely a common question.
We've got a stack of info here from the American Kennel Club and from Petable,
Okay.
so we can really figure out what the deal is with almonds.
Awesome.
The big thing is it seems like nobody can agree if almonds are like truly toxic to dogs or if they're just kind of like not a good idea.
Yeah, that's a really important distinction.
Right.
So the thing is, almonds are not toxic in the same way as like chocolate,
Oh, right.
or grapes. Those are like truly poisonous to dogs.
Uh-huh.
Almonds are a little more nuanced because it's more of a risk because of how hard they are for dogs to digest.
Hmm. So you're saying like they can eat them, but they're going to have a hard time.
Exactly.
Okay, so what happens when a dog eats an almond? What does that look like?
Well, so dogs, they just don't have the enzymes they need to properly break down the stuff in almonds.
Okay.
And that's what leads to, like vomiting and diarrhea.
Oh, yeah, the AKC mentions that too.
Right, exactly, like gas and even lethargy.
Lethargy. That's interesting. So it's more than just an upset stomach.
Yeah, it can really make them feel crummy.
Wow. Okay, so we've got the digestion problems, but the AKC also mentions pancreatitis, and that sounds a little scarier.
Oh, yeah, pancreatitis is a big deal.
Can you explain what that is and why almonds would cause it?
Sure, so basically, pancreatitis is when the pancreas gets all inflamed and irritated. Yeah, it's not fun for dogs. And almonds have a ton of fat,
That's true.
and dogs don't process fat as easily as we do.
Okay.
So their pancreas is working overtime trying to deal with all that fat from the almonds, and that can lead to pancreatitis,
So basically, the almond is too much for their system to handle.
pretty much.
Okay, so we've got pancreatitis, we've got the digestive issues.
Yay.
It's starting to sound like maybe dogs shouldn't have almonds.
It's really not worth the risk,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I mean, what if like my dog just grabs one off the floor? Is that really a big deal?
I mean, if it's one plain almond, you're probably okay to just watch them and see how they do.
Yeah.
But there's also the choking hazard.
Oh, right. Almonds are pretty big.
Exactly, especially for small dogs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They can get lodged in the throat or even the intestines.
And that's obviously an emergency.
Absolutely. Any kind of blockage like that can be life-threatening.
Wow. Okay, so almonds are out.
I would say so, yeah.
But what about the flavored almonds, like the barbecue or the salty
What?
ones?
Those are even worse.
Really?
All that extra stuff, the salt and spices, it's just going to irritate their stomachs even more.
Huh. I never really thought about how salt would affect a dog.
Yeah, they're much more sensitive to it than we are.
Okay, so definitely no flavored almonds.
Nope, not a good idea.
Okay, so we've covered all the bad stuff.
Right.
But I do have to say, Petable does mention that almonds have some good stuff in them
Oh, yeah, like vitamin E and magnesium.
and healthy fats.
Oh.
There's got to be some good to them, right?
Sure, almonds have some nutritional value, but for humans, not really for dogs.
So, like, it's not worth the risk to give them almonds for the nutrients.
Right. There are plenty of other healthy treats out there that are actually made for dogs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So why risk it?
Okay, so I think we've answered the question.
I think so.
Almonds aren't like poisonous to dogs, but they're definitely not dog food.
Exactly. Stick to treats that are meant for them.
Yeah.
Good advice.
It's funny how we just assume that if we can eat something, our dogs can too.
That's so true.
But this whole deep dive into almonds just goes to show you got to be careful.
Right.
Like, always check with your vet before you give your dog anything unusual.
Couldn't agree more.
There are so many foods that are totally normal for us, but can be really bad for our furry friends.
So always double check.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I think that about covers it for almonds.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.
See ya.